Hi, I'm Kristen Mosley. I wanted to sit down today and create a video for families that want to grow their family with adoption, but they don't know where to start. Because the laws can vary from state to state and even from country to country, it can get really overwhelming really fast. So hopefully I can sit down and make this little video and kind of guide you through those beginning steps to make you feel like it's not quite as stressful at the beginning. I think the first thing to consider are the 3 different types of adoption available to people in the United States. There's a private domestic adoption, and that's done through, with children here in the United States. A lot of the times it can be done through a professional, but sometimes it can be done independently with like an adoption attorney as well. Typically, infants are adopted through this way when a birth mother finds a family and wants to give their child up for adoption. It's typically how it works, but every situation is different, and there's definitely no hard and fast rules about how it works or what the age of the child is. The second type is probably the type that you've heard about quite a bit, is international adoption. There are several different countries that are open to U.S. adoptions. Of course, all the laws vary, so that's why working with a company like Holt International is going to be totally beneficial in making sure that you have all of the requirements met and that you're able to adopt a child from whatever country that you're seeking adoption from. It's also important to know that through international adoption, the age of the child is going to vary. And there could be special needs children that need placement and that need homes. So all of those things are things to consider when you're thinking about how this is going to fit in for your family and how you want to proceed. The last type of adoption is like a public adoption, but it's like more commonly known as like foster care, adoption through foster care. A lot of these children have been through trauma, which is an important thing to remember. A lot of their parents, their birth parents, their rights have been terminated, or they surrendered their rights for various reasons. So these children might need a little extra care as far as therapies or even counseling. Just something to maybe think about. Definitely have a lot of needs in the foster care system here in the U.S., so I'm a big proponent for families pursuing this method for adoption. So once you figure out what works great for your family and how you want to proceed, then you can start doing the research on the agencies or lawyers that you want to use. I like to tell families that you read until you can't read anymore, because there's just so much information out there to take in on this. One of the best ways to go about it is to start with maybe some friends that have been through adoption before, and you can sit down with them and they can tell you their firsthand experiences and the companies that they used, or agencies, not companies. I'm getting all tongue-tied. They can kind of help guide you as far as what's local to your area and what might be good resources. But there's other options, especially if you're wanting to pursue international adoption and there isn't like an agency that's close. It might be a couple hours away. You can use the wonderful thing called the internet, and there's tons of resources on there as well. A lot of people will blog about their own personal journeys, so you can garner some resources through that, looking for just different tips and tricks that they used, or companies that they used, or maybe even researching different countries that you might be interested in adopting from. Just getting a wide range of opinions always helps when you're trying to make a big decision like this. Some of these agencies will also have information sessions that are open, and you can go in and ask questions and talk to them and kind of get a feel for the vibe and if you think that their company will work well with your family. These people are going to be with you throughout the entire process, so it's really important to choose an organization that fits with your family and with yourself. And the same goes for adoption attorneys as well. They're going to need to be able to work with your family, and you're going to need to be comfortable with them because you're going to spend some time with them through this whole process. So researching cost is also something that you want to research, and the cost can vary depending on where you live and what kind of adoption you're pursuing. So that's something that a lot of families need to take into account, because the cost can be kind of great for a lot of families. So after you figure out what agency you want to go with, one of the first steps is doing a home study. And this is a source of a lot of anxiety for families because you have someone coming into your home and essentially judging you and how you parent or how you run your house. But you don't need to worry. The social workers want to come in and just make sure that the child that you're adopting is going to have a safe place to live and that you're going to take good care of them. So just being open and honest and relaxed about the whole process, even though it's really stressful, is important to remember. Your adoption agency and your attorney are going to help you walk through this process. They'll make sure that all the requirements that you have to have for whatever type of adoption you're pursuing are going to be met. They're going to make sure that you get it all done in the first go, or maybe like 1 or 2 visits, just depending on the situation. I feel like I've said that a lot, but a lot of this is contingent on where you live and how it works. But they're going to help you, and they're going to hopefully make the process not stressful and easy. The next step that a lot of families take is just putting your information out there, especially if you're wanting to pursue a domestic adoption and you want, or even foster care, and you want birth mothers to be able to get your information. A lot of families will also blog. They'll write a little bit about themselves and what they do, and how much they're looking forward to welcoming a child into their family through adoption, and just kind of getting some of their thoughts out, so that people can kind of get to know them and get a feel for them is important. And adoption agencies will help you with this. I think there's definitely some websites where you can create profiles for yourself and for your family, so that you can just kind of get your information out there for other people to see. Lastly, I think it's important, especially if you're going to adopt here in the United States, to have, the whole process can be rather lengthy, but you never know when you're going to get that phone call in the middle of the night that says, hey, I need you to come and meet your child. I have some friends that decided to pursue adoption, and within 24 hours they were receiving a phone call. They were in the middle of church service, and they stood up to get the phone call, not knowing if it was an emergency or what it was. And it was the adoption agency telling them that their daughter had been born at UK Hospital, and for them to get there as fast as possible. So, I mean, even thinking about it now just gives me chills, because they went from having a seemingly normal day where they were just going to go to church and then have dinner and, just kind of relax, to, oh my goodness, we're going to meet our daughter today, like right now. So, it's really important to have a few small little things just in case, just necessities, diapers, maybe some clothes and different things that you might need in those first 24 hours. It might be a total whirlwind of, oh my goodness, we have to get stuff together, the child's coming, or we're going to go meet them. So just kind of being prepared is always important, so that you can be ready for whenever you get that phone call. Good luck on your adoption journey process. I hope that you are able to grow your family through adoption, and I hope that you live happily ever after, I suppose. I mean, isn't that what everybody wants? They want to have a family that, they just want to be parents. They just want to love their babies. So, thanks.